Here you'll see I'm kind of putting pressure on my opponent's legs, but I'm not looking to pass too fast. I'm really looking for the slow burn pass in most cases. That can't always happen if you're going against a more experienced opponent. But making the person lift weights with you, so to speak, is always a good idea because you want to get them tired by the time you pass. There's no reason to go fast. Here I'm just showing our new kid Moo how to do a knee and elbow escape. There he trapped my foot. He was being kind of funny, so I had to put him in the truck position and slice his calf. Here I am using a technique that I learned by a guy named Fernando Salvador, who's a long-time student of Pedro Sauer. I call that technique the garden tool. Let me go back up and I'll show you. Some of my students in Vietnam learned this one from him and from me, who I taught it a lot. And I'll explain that later in a more advanced class. Okay, so this Fernando is on top, and I'm just breaking his posture. I'm trying to drag his arm across. He kind of already knows what I'm trying to do. He's probably done 20 or 25 classes with me. I'm actually attempting right there to do a wrist lock by trapping his hand in my armpit. And I will attempt it again, I think successfully, coming up here pretty soon. I'm annoying him right now. So this is a pretty good position that I have. There are counters to this that Fernando doesn't know about, but I'm creating a frame on top in the half guard, and that's pretty heavy position. Hard to get out of if you don't know how. Now Moo is a pretty flexible guide, deceptively flexible. Here he's got his left arm. I've got it trapped in a modified Kimura, and he is Gumby. More kind of slow passing here, trying to make Fernando work as I pass, give him a leg and arm workout. I'm telling Fernando here to grab my leg so that when he gets up to his stomach and up to his knees, he'll be able to reverse the position. He could have left his hand down. He actually moved it up to my thigh and then went for the takedown. He could have left it right there on the shin, and it probably would have been a more stable way of doing it. Fernando's doing a good job of trying to contain my legs here. He's got both hands on either of my knees. What he could do, well, let's see what he does first. Oh. Okay, so he took a step in with to get knee on belly. That's a good idea. He didn't have it didn't look like he had too much pressure on me. Fairly stable. He's got his hands on the ground. He could have done a flopping pass. Later on, you'll see me doing it, so I'll wait till later. Here I just end up catching his leg pretty easily. And then turning that into a sweep. So let me back up here. So when I passed to the side, it would be best if Fernando would concentrate getting his right arm underneath my armpit and by his stomach. And that he could have done around this time when he saw me passing to that side. So I would have, if I were him, I would start to get my right hand down by my pocket, by my right pocket, pants pocket, and that would give me the clearance to get that underhook. But instead, he's still stuck on breaking my posture, as you can see here. He's got his hand on my head. That will not serve him. He needs to get his arm under my arm, and that happens. And around my back. He needs to have his hand up here like this, under my arm and around my back. That will make his escape a lot easier. But instead he gets kind of stuck here under the pressure. Now I'm setting up a Kimura. So I've got the Kimura grip. Instead of trying to rip the hand up, what I'm really trying to do here, and it's very hard to see, it's very subtle, but to break this grip, because he has his hands together here, you can't see it, but his left hand is trying to save, or his right hand is trying to save his left hand, and rather than trying to just force his hand up to break the grip, what I'm going to do is bridge my hips forward this way, just ever so slightly. That will break the grip. So let's see if we can see that. There's my bridge right there, and it disconnects. So that's all core. That's all core. That's right there. That's what breaks the grip. It's my lower back. Basically, is probably most of the heavy lifting is, and that helps me to break the grip. That was a cardinal error that Mu made. You should never allow your opponent's head to be on the other side of your arm. I'm trapping the arm here. I'm trapping his arm here. That's what creates a triangle choke, a head and arm choke. Fernando's doing a good job of being conscious to try to control my knees while he's passing. Now he's looking for a Darce choke, but he's not trained in how to do it. So he ends up giving me a pretty powerful underhook, and I end up picking his right ankle. Right now he's copying my game without knowing the intricacies, which is good. It's okay, because we're going to get to that in the future with us training. But you see how I was able to reverse it by penduluming, I hope that's right, my left leg while I have his right foot trapped. Watch my left leg pendulums, and then I'm able to reverse the position because he did not have any way to base out on that side. Now I put him in a Darce choke, and that was the one he was just trying to set up on me.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, nice. Nice sweep.
Oh, really? Yeah, nice sweep. Yeah, yes. Here we go.
When my opponent starts to pin my legs down, I feel like I'm working really hard. If my hips are working, if I feel like they're working too hard against the person pulling my feet down, what I'll do is I will either sit up or I will concede but yet shrimp. So I'll let the person push my feet down, and I'll even help him by slamming them to the ground and then creating space right away. Instead, he's kind of fighting against it, and it is putting work on him. He's using energy doing it more than me in this case. And this is called oftentimes a flop pass, F-L-O-P. And this is, to me, it was the most annoying pass. I have counters for it now, but this is the most, usually for most people, I think it's the most annoying pass because they're basically just kind of backing up on you with all their hip pressure. And it's so counterintuitive to try to figure out how to escape to it. So this person's just backing up. You can't get away. I'm cradling his left leg so he can't shrimp. And he just has to take the abuse of the weight of my hip coming down. This is putting a lot of strain on his tricep. There's me getting a 2-on-1 on Fernando's right arm. That allows me to get that De La Riva in. It gives me the flank view of my opponent. As most people who train with me, they know that I love to get 2-on-1 when I'm in the open guard position, or even in closed guard or different guards. Here I have the De La Riva hook. My left leg is threading through the back of his right and around the top front part of his left leg. And I finish here with a wrist lock. It's hard to see it, but I clamp down with my arm on his right wrist, and then I'm going to turn my angle on it so that it bends the wrist. Fernando is setting up a triangle choke. So here he's got a good initial setup. The way he was able to manipulate his hips and to get this arm through essentially, or this arm through. This arm is out, and that's what you need to get a triangle choke. The second thing is Fernando needs to get his head over here, so his head and shoulders, torso are over here, so that he cuts the angle on the artery. That's one way that I'm going to show him soon in this video, because he had a problem with it. I'll show him how to make that correction. And he also is not putting his feet, he hasn't changed the positioning of his feet. Okay, so let's back it up here real quick. Oh, I went pretty far. What did I do? Okay, so right now he has his ankles crossed. And for the triangle choke, it's a good idea to get the left ankle under his right knee in this case. So, which is what makes the figure 4 lock that people will talk about. A triangle is essentially a figure 4 lock because it looks like a 4. Mu is tapping out. It's not a powerful triangle, but Mu is a beginner. I tell Fernando to go to an arm bar to finish it. That way he'll feel that he's being able to use his arm bar submission, which he's been working on a lot. Okay, so here is where I'm showing this angle. So I see how I just spun off to the side. That's what opens you to the artery, and then there's the figure 4 lock. That's the figure 4 lock. And that I'm going to have Fernando do it. So right now he's sort of square with the opponent. Now he shifts off a little bit, and now he is going to lock that ankle under the right knee. And he feels it quite a bit more. This is me doing that flopping pass, annoying flopping pass on Fernando, where I'm facing the feet and concentrating on pinning the knees and slowly taking out the legs. This is kind of a pass that you should not rush. You should concentrate on the opponent not allowing to reverse you. So staying low, staying stable. And here I finish Fernando with a one-handed Kimura, which is a very good way to finish a Kimura. And that's all. I hope that if anyone has any questions, comments, or ideas for upcoming videos, please leave comments in the comment section below. And I hope you guys have a great week grappling. Take care.